Hi everybody, Matt back with you. I hope you're okay. Today it's a perfect autumnal day. I always like it when the mist kind of separates the trees into different levels and shades. Maybe that's because I'm weird. But anyway, you possibly know what I mean. It's quite apt weather for today because we are going back into the mists of time. And today we're heading to Lumbutts. We're going via Woodhouse Road and Causey Wood Road, I think it's called. And we're going to look at the locations of former mills. Now through the roads we're going up is Lumbutts Clough. Now we've covered Jumble Clough and Colden Clough and looked at the old mills locations of those places, but just like those, Lumbutts Clough has water running through it, and basically they decided to build mills, water powered cotton mills. They harnessed the power of that water that was running, and so Lumbutts 100 to 200 years ago looked very different than it does today. We're going to meet Tom en route today because this is actually pretty much the location where he lives, and he knows quite a lot more about this area than I do, certainly the locations, and also hopefully he's remembered to bring them. He has some very special items that he's found from the mill locations. There he is. Now the first mill we come to, it obviously still exists, it's this one. It's called Woodhouse Mill. This is now flats, but they've only been converted into flats in the last 20 years. About 10 years before that, this mill had a tremendous fire, and I remember it being quite collapsed in. I'll show you a picture of what it looked like. These stairs are a bit nuts. Okay, we should find Tom just here. As we head up, we'll also point out some other places, not just the mills, and one of those places is just here. I'm not going to go onto the land, but next to Woodhouse Mill, which is there, was another row of houses here, and a very famous rock star lived here called Keith Emerson, famously of Emerson Lake and Palmer. Yeah, sadly the row is gone, because I'm fairly sure it would have had a blue plaque on it by now. The next to Woodhouse Mill as well is the chimney, and interestingly, and hopefully, we might still be able to look inside it. Now, unfortunately, it is pretty rammed full of probably 100 years worth of birds' nests. I'll see if I can show you what it looks like inside. Right, so this is inside the chimney. I don't think we need the light, do we? Look at that. Wow. If I lie down on these birds' nests, Look at that. Wow. Right, Tom's with us now. So, I think, Tom, you probably know this area better than me. Because
Well, I live up
you live here.
this road. I do.
So, what's the plan for today?
So we're going to look at the different mills up the Lumbutts Clough,
Okay.
which starts with Woodhouse Mill and
Yep.
ends with Lumbutts Mill.
Lumbutts Mill.
There's quite a few in between.
Which, dear viewers, was the location of my very first YouTube video 3 years ago. Happy anniversary if you've watched this long.
Happy anniversary, man.
Just off the road, you can find this, which always impresses me. So, what's the purpose of this? What do we call it? Waterfall steps?
Waterfall steps, I know, isn't it ugly? But, but in the 1940s or 50s, they built a tip further up the road to fill in one of the mill's dams, and obviously they couldn't have the water dragging through all the rubbish. In fact, it's quite sealed with things now. So they had to build this to redirect the water and track it down here.
So this is a 1950s creation, I think, yeah?
I think so.
Alright. So just to the left of us here, amongst all these trees, this is the site of the tip, is it?
This is the site of the tip. I think it was closed in the 70s, maybe?
The tip was closed in the 70s.
Was closed
Ah,
in the
right,
70s.
okay.
And we've covered it over.
Yeah. So the first mill that isn't here is Old Droid Mill, is that
Old
right?
Droid
And
Mill.
that's that mill there. I'll put these pictures on later so you can see them properly. But we're trying to figure out the locations of where things are.
So that building there replaced that building
Right.
in about 1970 something or other. And as you can see over here, there's the road, which must
Yeah.
be this road.
So that's the road going up to Old
Old
Droid.
Road, going, yeah, towards
Yeah.
on that way. And so Old Droid Mill, I suppose, would be about here, going over there towards Folly Dam.
Right.
Everyone calls New Mill Dam Folly Dam,
Yeah.
but Folly Dam is underneath the football pitch,
Covered over.
covered over, and that is the actual
But that's
Folly
Folly
Dam,
Dam, which is now the football
which
pitch.
is now the football
Oh, wow,
pitch.
okay.
And
So Old Droid Mill here, roughly.
1785 it was
Right.
built, and it got demolished in the 30s, sometime.
1930s.
1930s.
Okay. Wow.
And my house at the top up there, a little old cottage, that was built 1793 as a mill worker's cottage. But Old Droid Mill initially was just a mill that would process the wool before cotton into twine thread, and then they would actually spin it in my little cottage.
Wow.
But anyway,
Cool. So on the side of the road, we can see some fantastic ruins here. If we can see inside.
yeah, there's not a lot.
Won't go in there, unfortunately. It might be dumped asbestos in there.
Oh, yeah, more likely grow material.
Yeah.
That's, if you look there, the ceiling of that,
Yeah.
and the steps up.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay.
And there's the, I think these.
And this is the ruins of what?
Causeywood Hall.
Causeywood Hall.
Causeywood Hall.
And there we have these fantastic tunnels, which are quite reminiscent of the ones at Carlathe, I think, in the park, though obviously a bit smaller.
I think they're kitchens or pantries.
Yeah, yeah.
You often find yourself in one or two, don't you?
What?
One or two of these tunnels.
Yeah, 3 in the morning, wondering what's happening.
But I wonder if the road's been widened and whether they extended a bit further.
Yeah.
Because that one looks like it's jutting a bit.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's cool to hear, and we have a picture as well. So I can see a bit of a flat stump there.
That's right.
What is that?
And here we have, this is Causeywood Hall, and there's the mill.
Okay.
And the tower may well be this one, although when it's been pulled down, there appears to be a tower just there, right next to the hall. And what is that building?
Oh yeah. Intriguing.
An old Droid chapel. Anyway.
Yep. Okay. So you're now on top of the chimney.
I'm on top of the chimney.
Fabulous.
It might have been one of Dibner's.
Or Dick Van Dyke's.
Oh, it's got stone on the bottom.
Right. So this is one of those places that confuses everybody, as Tom just mentioned, as to names. But this is officially New Mill Dam. Is that right?
That is right.
That's right. Which you can see why people make mistake, because it also has Folly in brackets there. This is New Mill, and Folly was over here, which is now the rugby pitch. This is the location of the mill here, do you think?
Yeah.
And am I right in thinking there were also houses here?
6 cottages built in 1825, called Mount Pleasant, but affectionately known by everyone as Mouse Nest.
Mouse Nest, okay.
Wonder why.
Shall we see if there's any remains?
Nice.
So Folly Dam was here. So in the back of there, that was Old Droid Mill, yeah? Right. So there's quite a few pictures of a house somewhere in that location.
Just over there in that gap in those trees, there is the platform of Causeywood Cottage.
Okay.
And in 1913 and 15 there was various colorized postcards of the area, some of which have young boys fishing and some of which don't.
Oh.
As if they've been magically photoshopped in and out.
That's not bad for 1913, is it?
Probably those Cottingley fairies again.
So this is the platform, and the house would have stood just here by the side of the road. What a view you'd have had. And do we know when that cottage was demolished? Because there's our photographs of it as well.
In those photographs, it's held up with very sort of dodgy wooden joists.
Right.
So it looks like it's starting
on its way.
Go there.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So at the end of New Mill Dam, this is where, is this Lumbutts Clough now?
This is all Lumbutts, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so all along where we're going now is, well, we've been through it already, but Lumbutts Clough and the remains of, well, nothing much remains of the mills that are on here. However, Tom has made some rather amazing discoveries whilst looking in the water here and on the ground. So, show me what you found.
Right, well, right here, during COVID, I came down here and I had to avoid a couple. And as I was avoiding this couple, I saw sticking out of that bit of water there, the top of this bottle. And I thought, that doesn't look like a Coca-Cola bottle. And as you can see, it's quite a small bottle, not a pint size, not even a half, I don't think, probably a quart. It was full, but unfortunately, and it even had a stopper in it, which I have lost this morning. But I kept it outside and the ice made it open. However, I think, though looking inside it, maybe I'm wrong, I think it could have been for a dye or something because of the size of it.
Yeah.
Also around here, mudlarking with my son, I found lots of other bits of bottles similar to them, and some rather, in this particular area, some rather ornate old clay ceramic pipes.
Oh wow.
And there are people out there that can date them to within 20 years.
Wow.
But I'm not one of them.
No, and certainly I'm not either.
But you can see the dirt and the...
Yeah.
So beautiful bowls.
Wow. So you found all these here?
Just mudlarking there.
That's
and
amazing.
Also, this water bottle. Now I did a little bit of research because I thought, oh well, this probably something to do with the mill. And these are obviously very old because when rolling tobacco came in the 1890s, these went out the window. And I thought this would be quite old too. And it actually says Waterfoot.
Oh wow.
On it.
Which is an area we've been.
Which is an area we've been very recently. And I looked up this water company in Waterfoot, and I think they were bottling in the 30s and 50s, so not as old as these mills. I think this mill that was here, Midge Hole Mill, closed quite early on.
Right.
So
very good.
Probably quite old.
Excellent. They're good finds.
Yes. Anyway, let me just wash my hands.
Okay.
Oh!
You seen something else? What's that?
Oh! Another little pipe.
Well. It's alive.
Don't smoke it. It's a bit like finding a filter, isn't it, now?
I guess so.
Oh
wow, there's all sorts in here.
As well.
Shall I just leave you here for a bit?
I think you should. I like
Okay. Right, so you can see in the distance there is a path going up through the woods. Quite naturally, we're not going to do that. Where's the fun in that? We're going to head this direction through the clough itself, purely because, as Tom's just mentioned to me, the mills kind of came from the road into these areas. So, yeah, next one I don't think is too far away. So this looks like the kind of a location you might find a mill.
Indeed, this is Jumble Mill, and about 20 years ago there was a big storm and it unearthed quite a lot of this pavement that you can see underneath.
Underneath where?
Underneath all this overgrowth.
All right.
Jumble Mill, of course, was, yeah.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then there's this, am I right in thinking Jumble Mill was the one that was demolished?
So the info I got is Jumble Mill didn't last long, was demolished, and then they used the stone to build the next one, Greenwood Mill, the next one up. Yeah. And have you found anything here?
I've not found anything here.
But back to the river. Right, tell us what you found here.
So I often go and do emails sitting at the top of that stream over there. And I think I found some things that may relate to the top of the Brink Farm or the Top Brink Pub.
Okay.
Namely this lovely little Bovril bottle.
Okay.
Wow.
Which, there we are, Bovril. Yep. This lovely big old-fashioned spout.
Yeah. And finally, I think probably from the Top Brink.
What does it say?
It says
something Woods Beverages. Eastwoods?
Eastwoods Beverages.
Could be around here.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There were lots of local breweries.
Right. And they're all from.
And they're all from out of that top end of that stream.
Excellent.
So come mudlarking.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, so look at what we're finding, or you're finding, and Robin's finding.
And Robin.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, just by the river here, as well, is this tunnel. This is not too dissimilar looking to Horsewood Tunnel, and I think probably goes directly under where Jumble Mill was. So it could well have just been a drainage system for the mill. But I guess we're going to have to go and have a look. It's a bit dark and scary. Are you coming with me?
Am I heck?
Thanks. Okay, here we go. We are in the tunnel, and there's a bit of water, but not a lot. Wow. Okay, so we're in the tunnel, getting very muddy. About halfway, as I've reached this bit, you won't be able to see it yet, I'll show you in a second. It does get a bit smaller, so we'll have a see how far we can get. There is no escape this way, I will have to come back. But yeah, this is what's a little bit further ahead. See, it goes down there and then under here. Right, it's now much lower and a bit of a squeeze. Yeah. Okay, I don't think I'm going to go much further than that because it looks like it just leads to a pipe beyond there. Where that, I certainly can't get up the pipe, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know much about this tunnel, but I imagine that pipe would go up to the mill. Okay, let's about turn, head back down. Small, but good, yeah. But I want a bigger tunnel. Right, whilst I'm muddy, wet and cold, I'm going to head to this tunnel here. Right, let's see what's through here. It's got deeper, that's for sure. Well, it's actually getting deeper and deeper as we get further in. So it's quite flowing as the water. It's got very noisy as well. The reason for the noise is actually at the end of here there's a bit of a river that leads to a wonderful waterfall. Now I'm not going to go all the way through the tunnel to the waterfall, just go a little bit further. I haven't shown you the tunnel yet, have I? Here it is. So I'm in the tunnel. You can see how the water is flowing and how deep it is. You can also see a bit further ahead how there's some natural light. That's the exit from the tunnel to the waterfall. However, it does go upwards, so yeah, I think it's probably far enough for now. Okay. That was fun. Let's carry on with the mill hunt and dry off and find Tom. Right. All changed. We carry on. Try and find Tom. Right, so on a different day, I would have walked along there, jumped down into here, and perhaps gone and had a shower. Here's the waterfall, and you can see that's where the water was coming into the tunnel. That's where we were in the tunnel, and it's quite a big bridge But yeah, it is a nice reservoir, sorry, waterfall, and a stunning location, but a little bit too wild today after the storms last week. So the very eagle-eyed amongst you. There's another tunnel just there. Not for today. Nice to see you again.
Hello, hello.
I've been in the water. Right.
Okay.
So although I've just looked at the waterfall, there was something here.
We've just worked out this is Jumble Mill Dam.
Okay.
And obviously Jumble Mill's back over there.
Yeah. Where you can see the water pouring down.
Just beyond that waterfall is where Greenwood Mill was.
Okay.
Which we're going to go to.
So that's a bit further up. And that's where the stone from Jumble Mill ended up on an extension for Greenwoods, is that right?
Indeed.
Cool. Right, it looks like you want to show me something.
I've got something to show you.
Okay.
One afternoon, I think I'd had a bit of an argument with Bella, and I came out mudlarking just in this little ditch here. And here's what I found all in one afternoon. This black pottery, which seems to be like some kind of beakery type thing. Various marbles.
Oh wow.
Not sure if these are marbles. Here's one inside. I thought they might be Victorian marbles or stoppers for bottles.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then there is a glass one.
Wow.
Which this morning it was so dusty I thought it was a shop. It's one this weird bit of glass.
Yeah.
Which has got some nice lettering on. A little bit of beaker.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of old pipes.
Oh, the pipes again. Right.
More old pipes. There was time when you couldn't walk down here without finding old pipes.
Not now you've been.
Not now I've been. And this rather nice bowl with detachable bit. And this rather, I've never found a sort of pipe end, but it's quite a nice one, that, I think.
So I'm not a smoker.
No, I'm not trying to encourage
So is
you
this
to smoke.
no. So basically people would smoke from these, is that right?
That's right. So they were ceramic pipes, and they went. They can be aged any time from the 1600s right up until rolling tobacco came in the 1890s.
Oh wow.
So these are sort of your disposable vape liquor.
Yeah. Okay.
Of the modern
And obviously still here 200 years
200
later.
years later,
Yeah.
so maybe people should learn. But they cost a farthing apparently, and people just and they came pre-packed. And
What
then
else have we got?
I managed to find, I presume, still on the smoking thing, unfortunately, was an ashtray.
Oh yeah.
Of some kind.
Yeah. Okay.
And quite an ornate one, also in there, and quite a thick bottle bottom, and a different shape, and a little inkwell.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Which I thought was quite nice, and that's for there. And of course, I found some nice blue glass, which may have come off a blue glass bottle.
Yep.
And a little bit further downstream, I found this, which I initially thought was a bottle with a nib,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not got any hole in it, and
Right.
And this appears to
Oh wow.
be
It's
a little
like a scoop or a...
scoop. I was calling it a glass shovel. And Bella said you can't call it a glass shovel.
Well, we are in Yorkshire now.
But it's quite nicely.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then,
Like
of course, in that bit of water just there was this,
Oh wow.
which who knows what it is. This was quite near it as well.
It's like an old mango. If you
Like an old mangle, but it's a bit seized up.
well, WD-40 or so. I'm not
Is this
sure.
made of asbestos or is it ceramic?
Good point. Yeah.
Don't
Don't
know.
know.
But I found it quite fascinating when I found it.
Yeah, that's very good.
And
Wow.
could be something else if anyone knows.
Yeah.
Right in.
Tell us. Or if you know if we've got any of these wrong, I don't think we have. Or maybe you recognise that as something. Yeah, let us know. And what are these?
Yeah.
Well, maybe, Tom, dinosaur eggs.
Dinosaur eggs. Shot from the famous shooting at Jumble Mill.
This is interesting as well, just lying about. Okay, so we're now heading up to Lumbutts itself, but the top of here was our penultimate mill, Greenwood Mill. So let's see what exists of that today, if anything. So we think this wall is Greenwood's.
The old Greenwood Mill.
Wow, okay. Yeah. And obviously this is somebody's garden and land, but look at that wall there. That has to be part of the mill, surely. Right, so we're up on, this is Lumbutts Road, and again, beautiful, quiet location. We'll find our last mill in a moment. I think that building there is a former school, and on this house here is something interesting. Just on the side here is a sundial. So just on the road here, a bit further on, we find Lumbutts Mill, and just look over here first. We have another tunnel. That's the water that leads to the waterfall we saw earlier. So there's been a mill on this site since at least 1557, and the first mill here was actually originally a corn mill before becoming a cotton mill in 1783. It closed in 1926. Right, so this is the Lumbutts Mill Tower. It's a water wheel tower. And inside there, very cleverly, were 3 water wheels stacked on top of each other, and the water came from 3 separate dams above here, and so the water that came out of the top wheel obviously came down with such power that it would create more energy. Now, we have some pictures of roughly what the water wheels looked like and a diagram, and unfortunately we missed our opportunity of looking inside because that is now sealed. 3 years ago it wasn't, but that's fair enough. All this is now privately owned, but I'll show you a couple of pictures of what it looks like inside from what we found. Also, in this location we have the top brink, and I think the building here,
Black Dyke Farm.
yeah, that's also got a history, hasn't it? What was that building?
Was that a
Wasn't it the poorhouse?
a workhouse?
Workhouse, yeah. And then we have Lumbutts Chapel. So just beyond here is Lee Dam, which was one of the dams that fed Lumbutts Mill. Let's get a little look at that. So this is Lee Dam. There's a Lee Dam, yeah.
Used to be the pinfold in the area.
All right.
Which was a little pen, although it looks like a big pen.
Yeah.
And in the olden days, if your cows or your sheep had gotten out of you'd not kept up your fences and they'd run around, it would be kept in there and you'd have to pay a fine.
Oh wow.
To get them out. So this was the original pinfold.
Kept in the water?
No, sorry. It was sorry. No, it was a pinfold. It was a walled area for
I understand.
That were kept. And one of the cottages over there was the pinfold cottage.
Okay, got it. So the next place above us is Mankin Holes, which we're not going to cover today. This is as far as we're going for this video, which has been, I think it's been quite interesting to cover it, especially the little finds. But this is Lumbutts Church, no longer in use as a church. But not exactly abandoned, it is used for a few other bits. It's a nice location. What?
I found a grave from Mount Pleasant.
All right.
Mouse nest.
Ah. So who's this?
So these are people from, there's John Greenwood of Mount Pleasant, Todmorden, which is Mouse Nest.
The real name of Mouse Nest.
By Colden.
Oh wow.
Mill. And over there is James Taylor, also of Mount Pleasant.
I've heard of him.
I think I have. You've got a friend. Is that him?
No. Some fabulous faces here. So although there's no access to the church, it's not abandoned. Please don't come and try and break in or anything like that. But there are some photos that I've been sent from my friend Elaine Helliwell, and she's allowed me permission to put these photos on this video so you can see what it looked like inside a few years ago. Yeah, that's why her name's on the picture. But thank you for letting me use them. Okay, so we'll leave you here from Lumbutts Church. I hope you've enjoyed our little trip through the past, looking for the old mills of Lumbutts Clough. I think we've pretty much got them spot on where they were. Thank you for your artifacts. It's worth having a look, isn't it, through the mud sometimes to see what you can find. And yeah, interesting. Let us know if you have any memories of this area. Maybe, I'm going to say if you worked in the mill, but then you'd be about 150. But you know what I mean. Like, share, comment, all that kind of stuff. And we'll see you for the next one very soon. Take care.